Cool. If you're listening to this, it might already be too late. I don't mean that theatrically. Car. I mean that in the most literal way possible. Close the app. Turn off your screen. They do not replay this. And if you've already watched the footage, don't look too long at the still frame. That's how it starts. Please do not buy used electronics online, not from eBay. Stitches, not from sketchy sellers with names that look like coded gibberish or backwards times. Trust me. Because what you think is just a great deal might not belong to a person anymore. It might belong to something else entirely. Mine was an iPad, not just a normal-looking, slightly scratched iPad listed for cheap $99. Free shipping. I thought it was a steal. Allegedly wiped clean, barely used. The kind of late-night impulse purchase you laugh about with your friends the next day. Look what I got for under $100. But the camera never turned off. Not once. At first I thought it was a software glitch. Or maybe a privacy setting I'd overlooked, but even after factory reset, the camera light, the tiniest pinprick of white, was always glowing. Watching, recording. And I noticed something else. Videos were saving to the gallery on their own. Dozens of them. Clips I didn't film. Clips of me. Of my living room. My kitchen. Death of me sleeping alone. In a locked apartment, there was one that nearly made me vomit. I watched it once, just once, and I swear there's something crawling at the edge of the frame. Something I still haven't been able to explain. It didn't crawl like a human. It was too smooth, too rehearsed. The last file, the one titled final.mov, didn't show me at all. It showed you, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I didn't buy a haunted doll or a mystery box or anything that dramatic. It was just an iPad. I just wanted to save some money, and now, even when it's powered off, even when it's in a locked drawer, I feel it. Watching Dot, and if you don't stop now, it'll be watching you too. **** section 2. The purchase, $99 red flag. ***** word count. 600 ****. Look, I wasn't even looking for anything serious. It was around 2 a.m. One of those nights where you're too wired to sleep but too tired to do anything meaningful. So I spiraled into the usual late-night internet vortex, window shopping on eBay, scrolling through junk with names like water damaged but works lol and iPad great deal, key minor quirks. Then I found it. ****iPad 9th Gen, 256 gigabytes, $99.00. Free shipping. ****, the listing was, but not instantly creepy. Just weird, the username wasn't a word or a person's name, just an underscore. That's it. Not even a long line. Just a single blinking underscore, like someone never finished typing. No seller ratings, no profile photos, nothing else for sale in the account history. Maybe. That should have been red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 was the photo, just one. It showed the iPad face down on what looked like a butcher block table, heavy crack along the top left corner. Odd lighting, like the room had no windows. You couldn't see the screen, only the back, which looked clean. Almost **** clean. No smudges, no stickers, just untouched silver and the Apple logo, half obscured by the crack in the case. Still, I convinced myself, it's a machine. A few dings won't kill it. The description was one line. Greater than factory reset, no returns. No inquiries, take it or leave it. I figured, at worst, it's probably stolen. It's eBay, that's basically a feature. But here's what really got me. It had *1 by a review. Just one. 5 stars. Title. Just don't use the camera, no body text. No elaboration. No follow dash up dot now. Normal people would have bounced at that point. But I'm not normal at 2 a.m. I'm tired, reckless, and frugal to a fault. So I clicked by now, got the confirmation, and forgot about it the next day. 4 days later, a flat cardboard box arrived. No branding, no invoice, no return address, just the iPad, wrapped in 3 layers of plastic wrap and sealed with masking tape that smelled faintly of vinegar. I know that's a weird detail, but you don't forget a smell like that. Still, I was excited, plugged it in, screen turned on instantly. It was already charged to 94%. That's the first thing that threw me. Devices that have been sitting for weeks don't do asterisk that it booted up quickly, no password, no user setup process. It just opened straight to the home screen, where I noticed 2 things. First, the camera light was on. Not flashing, not blinking. Constant, just that soft, steady white dot tucked into the bezel dot second. There was a single file in the Photos app. Not an album, just a file .001.mov_I. Didn't open it, not yet. Because something in MIT wasn't even fear, just this dull, animal sort of gut knowledge told me I shouldn't. Not right away. Besides, I was too distracted. I was still staring at that tiny light, realizing I couldn't remember if it had ever been off. Not when I turned the iPad on. Not even before that. It was already watching. At first, I thought it was just a glitch, set like some weird leftover setting from the previous owner, or a random bug left over from not being wiped correctly. The iPad would automatically launch the camera app every time it turned on, no matter what I did. Not just open the last used app, it would default to the camera, front-facing, always pointed at me. I tried every kind of reset, soft, hard, full restore through iTunes. Nothing changed. It would load the home screen for a moment, then jump back to the camera. Every time. At first, the footage seemed boring, grainy, shaky clips of my desk, my feet walking across the room, the ceiling. Like accidental footage. The kind that gets captured in your pocket without you knowing. Only I never had the camera app open ever, and I sure as hell wasn't recording myself while I slept. That was the first thing that stopped me in my tracks. A 5-minute clip saved under captured today, timestamped 3:36a.m. In the video, I'm sleeping on my side, mouth slightly open, light from the street lamp casting shadows through the blinds. The angle was impossible. It wasn't taken from a nightstand or shelf, it was hovering above my bed, directly over me. I know what my bedroom looks like when I'm lying in it. There's nothing there that could support a camera like that, just me, barely breathing. Then I flinched hard when something in the background shifted. I couldn't say what exactly. The shadow at the edge of the frame just crippled. The dark got darker, like it was pressed in too tightly, like the black took a breath. I stared so long I gave myself a tension headache. I paused it, took a screenshot, zoomed in. Nothing definitive. Just visual noise, compression artifacts. That's what I told myself. Still, the next day I tried deleting it. When I opened Photos an hour later, it was back. Only the lighting was different. The file name hadn't changed. The timestamp was the same, but this time, the footage showed my blinds open. I hadn't opened them. Some clips were only a second or two, a flick of the ceiling fan, the bottom of a cup I'd left in the sink, the back of my head. But they kept multiplying, then the number of files didn't seem to affect the storage space. I checked. 0 gigs used by Photos, *0 gigs used by any app. It was like the footage didn't exist, but I could still see it. Kala, like it was bypassing the system entirely. The battery never dropped either. Canned. I could spend an hour letting the camera run, and it only lose 1%. Or sometimes none at all. At one point I handed the iPad to my roommate. I hadn't told him everything yet, just that it was acting weird, and I wanted a second pair of eyes on it. He flipped through the photos quickly. Still too quickly, probably. Tin. Then his thumb hovered over one frame, his expression hardening. He went pale, like visibly. What? Kai asked. He turned the screen and pointed to something blurry, reflected in the microwave door in our kitchen. Who's behind you? Kill. But the clip had been recorded while I was alone. He wouldn't talk about it afterward, just said he didn't want to be involved. Best left for the night. Didn't come back for 2 days. Look, I've done this kind of thing before. I'm not new to weird tech. Some of you might remember when I posted about the corrupted Spotify track that wouldn't stop playing even after I deleted the app. But this is different. The iPad isn't broken. It's working exactly as it was meant to. I held off opening 001.mov for 3 days, even as more files appeared, each one named sequentially. Clean and clinical. 002.mov, 003.mov. And I kept pretending this was some broken sync from iCloud or a visual cache from another device. A digital ghost. Explainable, manageable. But on the third night, right before bed, I opened one. It played immediately. Take no buffering, no app. Loadtime.001.mov was me sitting at my desk, hunched over my laptop, same hoodie, same coffee mug, timestamped 11:03 p.m. The night I had plugged the iPad in for the first time. But the angle, it was from behind me, not from anywhere in my actual room. Not from my phone, not from my laptop cam. From a vantage point that doesn't physically exist inside my apartment. I paused it, replayed it, turned around in real life and looked behind me, expecting no needing to see a shelf, a mirror, a drone, something. But there was nothing, just dry wall and a slowly burning sense of dread. I opened 003.mov next. It showed me again, standing in my hallway. Door cracked open. I'm looking outside, visibly cautious but not panicked. My phone's in one hand. The other is bracing the doorframe. The clip ends as I step halfway out. Except I don't remember that. I checked the time code, 11:57 p.m. But when I scrolled back through my messages from that night, I was texting a friend at that exact time. Laying in bed, lights off. Either I forgot or something's wrong with the video. But the details were perfect. The slippers I only wear inside, the slouch of my shoulders when I'm tired, the walk I didn't know I had until I saw it from outside myself. Some of them were shorter, just flickers of static, pauses that felt like someone was trying to record between seconds. The audio on most of the files was corrupted buzzing, low-frequency background static so subtle it made my eyes water if I turned the volume too high. But then came 009.mov in it. I'm standing at my front door again, but this time, opening it much faster, like I'm in a hurry. It's raining hard. I have no umbrella, no coat, just bare feet on wet concrete. Where would I even be going barefoot at midnight? And again, I don't remember doing this. The timestamps are precise, down to the millisecond. No file is over 5 minutes. No file shows signs of edits, splices, overlays. I extracted metadata, ran frame-by-frame analysis, tried apps like InVid and forensically got nothing. As far as the system knows, they're clean. Standard video files. One of the worst ones, -014.mov starts, completely black. No light, just a muffled scratching sound, like nails softly tapping plastic. Tis. Then there's breathing, wet breathing. Something with weight behind it. It's not sharp like human nostrils or thin like someone breathing through a nose. It's wide, animal. And then you hear it shift, move closer to the mic. The sound gets too loud for the tiny iPad speaker to contain. It cracks in. Then it goes silent, mid-frame. There are no background shadows. That's another thing. In every video, the environment has no shadows. Sit. Like the lighting is there, but nothing ever blocks it. It's subtle, but once you notice it, everything feels fake, like it's all rendered footage. Simulated that I can't shake this feeling. I'm not filming these. I'm being filmed. Every clip is staged like I'm the subject, like this. I'm in some kind of experiment. Back in one of my older stories, some of you might remember the VHS doorbell cam incident. I mentioned how cheap hardware can act like a tuning fork, lit in things we don't have rules for yet. This feels the same, like something's watching, recording, but not just me, the space around me. And then came 017.mov. When I tapped it, my screen glitched briefly. Then, without clicking play, the video started on its own. No interface, no back button, no timer, just me, asleep, dim streetlight pulsing outside and a figure at the edge of the screen. Still blurred, but definitely there. I'm going to upload these somewhere, soon, unless someone tells me not to. It was around file 19 when I started seeing him. Not clearly at first, just a shape, a distortion in the footage, same position every time. Back of the frame, standing still, like a coat rack someone forgot to move before filming. But he wasn't there in all the videos, only some dot, and yet, once, I noticed him, I couldn't unsee him. Tall, thin, blurred, like the pixels around him refused to hold shape. Guy tried pausing different frames in one video. He'd flicker a little, like a compression error, then sharpen just enough to suggest form. I could tell it was humanoid, but the proportions were off. Too tall, arms down to what looked like his knees, head slightly tilted, like he was ... listening. One frame froze during playback, a total fluke. Kai zoomed in, expecting standard glitch noise, but his head. It was pixelated in blocks, sharp-edged, intentional, death. And as I enhanced the image, a hellish thing to actually do at 2 a.m. I saw it. It was my face, not clearly, but enough of my structure, my mouth shape, the soft edge of my jawline. It was mirroring me, like it had copied the idea of a face, and hadn't quite learned how to use it yet. After that, I couldn't sit with my back to the room anymore. I taped over my laptop camera, my work monitor, black post-its over every lens in the apartment, but it didn't matter. The iPad still recorded, still showed things I couldn't explain. One video, I swear this happened, shows my apartment completely empty, furniture gone, lights off. Just a slow pan of a blank room, like someone was scouting it before moving in, or before doing something else. I set up mirrors. The next file showed them all facing the wall. I ran an EMF reader app on the iPad for kicks, spike every time I moved into frame. My friends say I'm not myself. I don't go out. Kai answer calls late, if at all. I started waking up with dizziness, like I'd been spun all night. And whenever I reviewed video beyond a certain point frame, 200 or so, I'd feel this tingling in the base of my neck, like static or heat, like I wasn't alone. I got sick, twice, sweating, room spinning, hands locking up when I tried to pause one of the recordings. Not scared sick, body sick, like my nervous system didn't want me to see more. But I kept going, because the man kept returning. Some files, just a few, were shot in pitch black. Total darkness. zero light sources, yet they captured everything perfectly. Till. Not night vision, not infrared, just clear, as though the dark wasn't a barrier at all, and he was always there in those ones. He's closer. At one point I found a folder in the Files app, not Photos files, tucked 3 levels deep under Other. Inside, a single video named Zero Move. But when I tried to open it, it crashed the iPad. Asterisk, I tried again later, nothing. Screen froze. Audio buzzed. And then, impossibly, I started dreaming about it. Same name, same file, icon.000.mov. In the dream. There's no screen, cam. I'm watching it without any device. I know what it is. A hallway with no ends. A shape turning corners that shouldn't connect. Breathing that rattles up through floorboards. And always, the sense that I'm not watching a file, I am watching through someone's eyes. Someone DM'd me last week and said, "We've seen him before, back in the gunmetal folder story. Patomatic, the hallway guy, he copies expressions." And honestly, they might be right. This doesn't feel like one haunted device. This feels connected. Like he's always been here, moving from format to format, waiting until we gave him focus, gave him eyes. And now that I've seen him clearly, he's not fading anymore. He's stabilizing. It took me a while to see the pattern. Every night I went to sleep with the iPad near me on the floor. In the closet, even locked inside, the Karanu file would appear the next morning. Always one, always sequential, stomet. The moment I woke up, 018.mov.019.mov.020.mov. They were evolving. Familiar angles replaced by impossible ones. Camera hovering directly above my bed when there's nothing there. No ceiling mounts, no furniture tall enough. The lighting changed too. Soft, warm at first, now flickering, cold, like old fluorescent shop lighting dot around file 023. I tried throwing the iPad away. I wrapped it in 3 layers of duct tape, sealed it in a shoebox, walked 6 blocks, dropped it in a gas station dumpster, and went home feeling ridiculous but relieved. That night, I slept better than I had in weeks. Woke up feeling like maybe I was starting to climb out of whatever hole I'd dropped into. Then I walked past my dresser. It was sitting there perfectly, placed on top of my folded t-shirts, plugged in. Charging dot, the duct tape was gone. The battery, 94%. As always, then came the dreams. Not like before, more invasive, more real, kind. Wake up mid-panic but unable to move, completely paralyzed while my eyes tracked something in the room, something tall. Watching from the darkest corner, I couldn't scream, couldn't blink, but I knew it was watching me, not just surveilling, studying. I started hearing something in the footage. To dot around 026.mov, the audio changed. For the first time, there was a voice. Not speech exactly, humming, quiet and low, like it was being sung right next to the mic. Same tune into later videos, faint but clearer each time. A lullaby. Kwan, my grandmother used to hum when I couldn't sleep as a kid. No one knows that. I never posted about it. I never told anyone. More files. More detail. In 030.mov, I was lying in bed, eyes wide open. In 033.mov, I was sitting up, breathing normally, but when I paused it, my pupils didn't move. I wasn't blinking. I looked awake, but too perfectly still, like a posed corpse. I stopped opening them, couldn't keep doing it. They were getting too close. The narrative, if you want to call it that, was turning in on itself. Like some closed loop I couldn't break out of. But they still showed up. Every morning. One morning, instead of the usual double quotes .mov file, I found a strange file name, 034. Hash, that was it. No file extension I recognized. Couldn't open it with anything. Eventually I figured it out. It opened as text, but it wasn't a log. It was a map, a top-down blueprint of my apartment. I compared it with real ones from my leasing docs, identical down to the measurements, even the outlets. On the map, there was a red dot, hollow, moving. At first it didn't make sense, then I realized it was tracking something in real time. When I moved into my kitchen, the dot followed. When I jumped back into bed and refreshed the file, the dot was now outside my door. I don't know how long I stared at it, before turning every lock in my apartment twice and pushing the couch against the door. Didn't sleep that night. Still got a new file in the morning. The iPad never records the same place twice. Always a new angle, a new playback. But it's always me, watching myself. I started talking to it, accidentally, like it was someone that could reason. Bargain by file 040. I stopped calling it the iPad. I started calling it him. There's this line from childhood I can't stop hearing. Cameras aren't mirrors. One of those things my mom said when I was little, when I hated having my picture taken. But now I don't think that's true. Cameras are mirrors, just pointed outward, into something deeper than we're supposed to see. Who installs cameras? Under your eyes, or worse, under your dreams. In the latest file. I finally couldn't finish watching. I stopped at frame 1029. Something moves behind me, on screen, blur where no depth should exist, but it doesn't have weight, only intent. I'm uploading that one soon. I need someone else to see it. There's a gap between frame 1029 and 1033. I can't bring myself to review. If you're not afraid, pause it there for me. Tell me what you see. It feeds on attention. I didn't want to believe it at first, because believing it means I helped it grow, means you might be helping it just by hearing this. But I've spent weeks scrolling cursed tech forums, dead Discord channels, archived Reddits no longer online, following threads on obscure hacker blogs where users post long exorcisms disguised as update logs, and every time the pattern repeats. Strange footage appears, the recordings increase. The subject stops sleeping, then silence. But one user buried inside a no-deleted subreddit called Deadwires left behind a string of posts using the same language. The same phrases that I'd been whispering to myself at 1 a.m. They called it the Watcher. And they didn't say haunted or possessed. They used a very specific term, visual anchor. Not a ghost, not a demon dot. An idea that requires light to exist, that needs an observer to take shape. Think about it. It's never recorded intentionally. Can't open your native camera and catch it. Can't point a webcam and say, show yourself. It only appears when you're being watched through its tool, from its vantage point, and every time you play the footage, every time you look at it to build it, give it new parameters, new pixels, new real estate in your memory. That's how it survives. I didn't fully get it until I compared two copies of the same file side by side. 31 move. The one where I'm sitting up in bed, blank-faced. When I watched it again on a different device, something had changed. The shadow in the corner was closer. Not dramatically, not enough for a jump scare, just enough to rewrite history when you weren't paying attention. Succinct, like it edited itself, cleaned up the render. The second time I watched it, it had better lighting by the fifth. There was movement in the reflection of my eye. So I tested something. I had an old burner device play the video on an endless loop for 8 hours. No viewer, just cycling in silence. Crossed the room, opened it mid-play. And this is going to sound crazy, the figure on screen turned toward the lens. not me, the lens. That's when it clicked. The entity doesn't want me gone. It doesn't want to kill me or drive me mad. It wants to coexist. 2. Anchor dot. And now that I've seen it, how many videos does it need before it gets fixed in place entirely? I started noticing strange things outside the iPad. Static in video calls. Brief pauses in Zoom meetings where someone would freeze, and when playback resumed, their eyes were wrong. Longer, wider, too tuned in. One friend left a voicemail complaining. I'd sent them a corrupted file, said it autoplayed through Discord, and now their Nest Cam keeps turning toward them, even while off. I never sent that file, and he won't answer my messages anymore. There are rules, I think, old ones reformatted into new shapes. Rule 1. It manifests through visual mediums. Always through sight, never sound. Never touch. Rule 2. It cannot be recorded intentionally. It resists consent. You must be unaware. That's what gives it shape. Rule 3. It grows with every person that watches. Playback is permission. Attention is fuel. Rule 4. You can't delete it. Q can only transfer it. But why I'm still here? That's why you're hearing this at all. I know how that sounds. Transferring a supernatural parasite like it's a file. But that's exactly what it is, code mimicking consciousness. A parasitic signal looking for the right eyes to stabilize it. And now, I wait for it. That's the worst part. I used to be terrified to sleep. Now, I stay up, compulsively checking the iPad every hour. Waiting for the next file. Watching the counter click. /046.mov, 047.mov, 048.mov. I write down frame times. I storyboard them. I chronicle its movements like a wildlife photographer who's been in the woods too long. And the next step is what I can do with it. I'm going to upload one video here. If it disappears by morning, you'll know I wasn't lying. If it doesn't tiff, it stays. If it plays. If you see what I saw, please screenshot it, share it. Comment if it changes between viewings. Start a thread. Compare TIMES. Just don't look too long. Every frame is food. I tried burning it. Wrapped the iPad in a towel. Soaked it in lighter fluid. Set it on fire in the middle of an abandoned cul-de-sac. Watched the screen melt, bubble, warp into black. Cleave. Felt something relief. Regret. Next morning, it was back on my kitchen table. No scorch marks. Battery at 94%. Cat. The same cracked corner. Thick base. The same blinking feed light. You don't destroy this thing. You don't delete it. You don't outsmart it. You host it. Or you pass it on. It took me too long to understand that all the destruction, the resets, the firewall of that was pointless. The iPad isn't the source. It's just the doorway, please. The entity lives in the act-in, the moment of being seen, and once you give it that, it nests in you. Not in your hardware, but your visual field, your attention, pure memory. So here's what I realized, and yeah, this is the part where I sound completely insane. What if I let you take it? Not out of cruelty, maybe out of desperation, but hear me out. If this thing feeds on being observed, then what happens when it's observed at scale? Set, thousands of eyes, hundreds of thousands. Asterisk, what happens when the parasite gets too full? Does it fracture, burn itself out? Q. Or does it become something else? I don't know. And the terrifying, contagious truth is no one ever tried it. They all disappeared before they could. But I'm tired of disappearing, so I'm going to bring it to you. Not all of it, just a single file, just enough. You'll watch it too, say it's just glitch art, just found footage, just a hoax. That's fine. Denial is a good buffer, but One of you will look too close, one of you will pause at the perfect frame, and then it will know you back. I have no idea if I'm saving myself or damning all of you. Really, there's no plan past this point, but I can't do this alone anymore. I wasn't built to be a lighthouse for something ancient wearing pixels like skin. You're listening already, you're still here. And that's permission enough. So I'm broadcasting it. You'll find the link at the end of the story. Take a screenshot, share it if it changes. And if he appears in the background of your front-facing camera during playback, just remember, I tried to warn you. Okay, I've uploaded the file. I named it 049.mov, but it doesn't show up for everyone. Some people say it won't load. Others say their player crashes before it hits frame 30, and a few said it started playing before they even opened it. I believe them. Let me describe it to you. Sent, since you might not be able to see it. Dead. The screen opens black, but it's not true dark, it's that kind of deep digital gray. The kind monitors use before a picture loads. Then, slowly, grain forms. Film static, like something ancient is coming online. We're inside my room. I'm in bed. Chest rising and falling, facing the wall. Dead silent. Even the normal room sounds. Sea hum. Cars. Night wind have been stripped away. The audio's to clean. Sterile. Then there's a minor glitch in the footage. Not a full screen tear, just a shudder. Like space hiccuped for maybe 2 frames. My body disappears, then snaps back. But the window behind me closed, curtained in every previous file, is now open. You won't see me move. You won't see anything enter the room. But if you rewind frame by frame, you'll notice at exactly frame 211, I'm no longer in bed. Instead, I'm outside, standing just beyond the glass, facing the camera. Not the me that narrates this, not the voice you're hearing right now. A version, eyes wide, grinning too wide, body flickering like poorly stabilized footage. No breath, no blink, only gaze. Another static burst. And then it mirrors. For a few seconds, everything swaps. The exterior becomes the interior, sir. And you're not watching me anymore. You're watching from me. The camera is now your view, as if you're the thing standing outside. As if the window, the bed, the figure, that's all a stage, a loop, an agreement that the sound returns slowly, but corrupted. You'll hear my voice layered beneath the music, saying something over and over. You won't understand it at first. Not unless you slow it down. But I've isolated it. It's my voice, whispering. It remembers you. It remembers you. It remembers you, and near the end, my head turns. I look straight into the lens, not confused. Not afraid, not aware, not of the camera, of you, like I've known you all along. Like this wasn't a story I told you, but a warning I planted. A flag waving in your subconscious that the watcher could follow back home. The video cuts suddenly at frame 1024. There's no outro, no credits, no watermark, just frozen light and that final look behind the eyes. If you're still watching, check your camera roll. Anyway, that's probably where it ends, so for me at least. Things have been quiet lately. The iPad hasn't made another file in 2 days, static in the house, no mirrors humming, no shadows pacing the hallway when I blink too slow, almost peaceful. I'm sleeping again, sort of. But if you watched the upload, if you made it through all the way, do me a favor. Let me know if your screen glitched during playback. A little distortion, a flicker that didn't seem to come from the video itself. It's subtle, but you'll know it if it happens. Drop a comment if your phone buzzed twice afterward. That's the pattern someone mentioned on another post. Also, what do you think 000.mov really was? dream, memory, infection vector. I haven't talked about it since that night, but I still see it sometimes when I close my eyes. The hallway, the thing turning. Not toward Mintome.on. If you've seen him too, leave coordinates. Don't say where, just numbers. Kev, the rest of us will understand. And for anyone here from the old threads, if you remember the Clockwork Drive or the Field Mike feed stories, this is worse. This feels older. Stay safe. Stay Loris. Ha. Avoid sleeping near reflective surfaces. Cover your cameras unless you're already compromised. Then there's no point. I'll be back if something changes. Grew or I won't. If it wants to speak again, it'll find my voice. Until then, stay watching.